Good day, everybody. Today we're going to do lesson number 6 of term 2 for grade 3. Remember, lessons 1 to 5 were revision activities, so you can go and download it from the SA Teacher website. So today we're going to focus on place value 100 to 200. Just to show you how it links with the DBE workbook. It links to worksheet number 33. So just opening it up there, you can see the link in the DBE workbook. I'm going to go back to the lesson plan. Here you will see the links to the CAPs. And then the next part is all the resources that we're using, and then the dictionary. The dictionary is simply to help you to understand words that we're going to use in this lesson. Please note that the learners don't have to study these words. So how we start the lesson then with our daily routine by asking whose birthday is it, which day, what's the date, what's the time, what's the weather, left, right, up or down, and then who's absent. In the classroom, you can ask who's absent, but in the family context, you can ask who's not feeling well, who's sick, and so on. So the first activity we're going to do is we're going to count. So we're going to start and count in hundreds to 500. So the first one I'm going to do with you. So we're going to say 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So let's do this then with 300, 300, 400, 500. Now you try it by yourself. Count from 100 to 500. Well done. Now try from 300 to 500. Well done. So let's carry on with the mental mathematics. Here you can pause now the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the tips. You can pause the video and the learners can do these mentally by doing it orally or on a piece of paper. So it's time to pause the video now. Unpause it. And what you can do is, if the learner struggled, you can then show them the tips. So what we're going to say, 18 plus 32. We make it easier by saying 18 plus 30. So we're going to count in tens. 18, 28, 38, 48. Plus 2 will give us then 50. As soon as you work through the tips with them, what you can do then is you can reveal then the answer. Remember, this is revision and it's a step-by-step process that you need to take with your child or with your children in the classroom. Let's then start with today's lesson. So we're going to look at place value between 100 and 200. So what we're going to use is base 10 blocks. So let's quickly see how many blocks are here, or how many little cubes will be in this red block. How many in a rod? Let's count the rods. So we know there's 10. So we're going to say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. But it's the same as this. So it's much easier to count one block than 10 different rods. How many yellow cubes do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But that's the same as one rod. So it's easier to use a rod. So this is what we call our decimal system. So rather than counting 10 loose cubes, we have one rod that represents 10. And rather than counting 10 rods, we got one block that represents 100. So let's quickly, what's the question here? You can go through these because we're going to use flashcards as well. So units will be those cubes, and the flashcards will be then 1 to 9, and then tens will be these rods. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the flashcards. So then we're going to look at the hundreds. So what's the difference between units, tens, and hundreds? I'm going to repeat the question. What are the differences between units, tens, and hundreds? Pause the video here and ask your children or your child about these representations, these blocks, or these number cards. Let them just simply read it or tell you how many in each. Welcome back. So today we're going to look at numbers, and we're going to look at them by going through all of these steps. So we got the example of 164. How do we say it? 164. How do we write it? Here you can write it now for the child on a piece of paper again, or they can do it. Write on a number on your slate, 164. If you wrote it first, let them write it now, 164. Show it with your base 10 blocks. Show it then with your flood or your place value cards. This is a time where you can pause and you can ask your child to choose any number between 100 and 200. And then you go through the same process again. We're going to say the number, we're going to write it, we're going to represent it with our blocks, and then we're going to show it with our flashcards. Let's go to the next step. So we're going to draw the number line on the board, or if you're at home, you can draw it then on a piece of paper. Remember, we start this number line with 100 because we work between 100 and 200. These arrows shows you that the number line started with smaller numbers, but because of space and it's easier to use, we only work between 100 and 200. So on the number line, tell me more or less, where is 164? So you can make a little arrow there. Now let's ask a few other questions. Show me more or less where will be 135. Well done. It's here, more or less here. Show me where is 199. Excellent. Between which two numbers will 110, between which two numbers will 115 be? It will be between 110 and 120. Now pause the video and ask your child similar questions. We now have a number line, this time between 160 and 170. Ask the child to count the numbers in between. Now look at the number line. Which number comes before 164? Excellent. It's 163. Which number comes after 164? Excellent. It's 165. It's time now to pause the video and ask your child similar questions. Welcome back. I want you to look at these numbers and pause the video. Then write these numbers quickly on small little cards. After you've done that, ask your child to place it in the correct order, starting from the smallest to the largest. I'm going to close up the answer. So you take the cards and you the child places them from the smallest to the biggest. It will look something like that. It's time to pause now, and you can read here at the bottom. You can repeat the whole activity by using other numbers. Let your child write these numbers. A very good way to recycle paper is to use the back of paper that you already have been using. So let's go and look at, if your child struggles to read the numbers, go back to the concrete level where you're using base 10 concrete blocks. Then move to the representative level where you use flashcards, and then the child can do the worksheet that's in an abstract form. Here is an example of a SA teacher worksheet that they then can complete. You can pause the video after this. If you don't have a printer, let the child just do these things orally. So we start with question number 1 and 2. Pause the video. Now we're going to carry on with question number 3 to 6. Pause the video. Now we're going to go to the last page where we have a problem solving. Now I want you to do level 1, level 2, level 3 problem solving. So it's time to pause the video. Welcome back. Let's quickly see. I didn't give you tips to solve it because I first wanted you to try it by yourself. So my secret number is smaller than 190 but bigger than 185. What could my secret number be? Show all the possible answers using base 10 blocks. Now, if your child can say the possible answers, you don't have to show it with base 10 blocks. Well done. Parents and teachers, remember to go through the consolidation. Here again, you click to say yes or no if the child understood it or not. If the child understood all the concepts, you can carry on. If not, you can always contact us for help or do some of the concepts again.